welcome to vlog number 4. In this vlog, I'm going to be discussing chapter 7 of Reading Pop Culture and chapter 12 of the Rhetorical Act. So, in chapter 12 of the Rhetorical Act, the main topic is visual rhetoric. What it means is that the visual or image is most of the message, instead of it being like words, like normal commercials will. It's just an image there. Basically, the visual is the whole thing that is persuading others instead of it being words. Visual images are becoming more popular now because people prefer to see images instead of reading, just like I do. When I see a commercial, I don't really pay attention to the words. Instead, I just look at the image that's happening. I think that it's easier that way because we just don't read what the words nowadays. We just get to see the image and we learn what we're learning instead of looking at the words. And sometimes images do speak more than words in many cases. Just like in the commercial cases, sometimes words speak more. I have seen many people persuading with images and then being as successful as people that are persuading with words. So just because you're using an image doesn't mean you're not going to be successful compared to someone that is using words to persuade others. I also saw that if you want to persuade a bigger audience, you should use emotional images. And I think that this is true because I personally have experienced this. When I look at the commercial of the animal hospital on TV, I see that they put like sad images so that people become sad and they really feel emotional and want to donate money to them. So I think that's successful. And images basically invite viewers to draw their own their own persuasive conclusions. So an image can have many meanings, and every person is gonna read the image in their own way, even though someone else can read it another way, and it's the same image. So basically, the image can mean many things, not just one thing, based on the person. It's kind of like sculptures that don't have any words, and the sculptures just speak for themselves. They mean something, but they don't actually say what they actually mean. They're just like built there, and people kind of just think of what they think that the sculpture is, and that's what they take the sculpture to mean. So technical features of visual rhetoric can include focus, angle, shot sequence, and movement, editing, and sound. So there is more to a visual than we actually think. For example, you can add sounds, movement, and like angles to make it look better. It's not just about having the image there just be a boring image. You can make it more exciting by adding things like the ones I just mentioned. So in the paragraph written by Gerard Jones, violent media is good for kids, I learned that many parents and kids were watching like violent media, and some parents took it a bad way because they didn't want their kids to see violent stuff. Even though little kids, when they're little, they do watch a lot of TV shows, and a lot of TV shows do include violence in them. For example, in the paragraph, it says it includes the example of the Incredible Hulk. And the Incredible Hulk is known for like smashing things, so I guess you can see how he's violent, and little kids still like watching him. So even though little kids watch violent TV shows when they're little, if their parents let them, it doesn't mean that they will be violent, because I remember I used to watch violent TV shows, sometimes like violent scenes, and I don't think I'm considered a violent person. So I guess it doesn't have to do with what you're watching to make you violent. In the other essay written by Michael Chabon, Secret Skin, an essay in Unitard Theory, it's basically talks about like Superman and how his suit doesn't really exist, and how his suit's like the one that makes him a superhero. So many little kids want to be Superman and dress like him, and they think that they will have the same powers that he has, even though we know that that's not true. But little kids want to have powers just like Superman does, which is why They think that by having his costume, they will be as strong as he is, but that is not the case.